Hi, Nick Duffy here from MMG Golf and Nick Duffy Golf Performance. Here to talk a little bit about a shot you're going to hear about a lot this weekend. Namely, it's going to be the deep rough. So the U.S. Open's coming up this weekend, and I know a big fuss is already being made about how deep the rough is and how the players are already complaining about how deep it is and how frustrating it's going to be for them for the week. I want to say it's one of those things you can't really get around. Deep rough is very limiting on what shot you can hit out. I see the golf course is playing right around 7,500 yards with pretty deep rough. They said it's like up to a foot in some places. And playing at that yardage, par 70, you're going to have a lot of long shots in out of the rough unless you hit it way down the fairway, or way down the rough line, should I say. So overall, the biggest message I can take away from talking about how to play these is, number one, you get to pick a club with a lot of loft on it. I just have a pitching wedge here. I'm not even going to try to hit anything more, really, because the whole goal I'm going to have is I'm going to try getting it back into the fairway, try to get it back into play, and hopefully use my wedge game to be able to get my par. You'll see a lot of guys doing that this week. It's going to require a lot of good short games, a lot of good wedge play, because pretty much when you hit it into the rough, it's going to be just trying to get it back into play and see what you can do from there. Even the best players from these lies sometimes really struggle. I mean, you saw Rory a couple weeks ago in the Tour Championship have a lie out of the rough. He pretty much top chunked it. And it's just the way the rough's going to react to the club, right? So I have Bermuda rough here. It's a little different than what they have up there up in Winged Foot. It's not quite as deep, obviously, but it's very thick. And as my club tries to drive down into the rough, the grasping trying to push it back up. So that's why you'll see guys who especially come too far from the inside tend to a lot of times top or hit shots really bad out of the rough. Steeper players sometimes get a little bit more of an advantage out of it, just because it's a little easier to come down right on the back of the ball this way instead of coming more from the inside where you're going to catch more of the rough behind it. So anyways, the way I like to kind of play these is I like to set up a little bit open face, open stance. I feel like I'm picking the club straight up almost, and then just let it go from there. The rough's going to want to grab the club a little bit and turn it as you hit it. So if you do hit one, rough turns it over just a little bit. It's not the worst thing. Hopefully you set up in a way that allows it to happen. I know I tend to hit these shots, they knuckle on me a bit, so you hit that shot that like looks okay coming out, but it just falls out of the sky. That's just because you can't put much spin on it out of this rough right here. So overall, once again, open stance. I'm going to play the ball a little bit more forward than normal, pick the club up more than normal, and try to just really chop down on it the best I can. I mean, if I get this ball back into the fairway, it's a really good shot. So on these, we don't get too worried about, the result. Just trying to get back in the fairway and make good contact. All right, so now we covered the rough lie from like just off the tee. Now we're going to cover a little bit of what it's going to look like around the greens. So once again, this rough here doesn't quite do it justice for what we would be seeing at Winged Foot in the U.S. Open, but this is just a good example of what a buried lie in our Bermuda summer rough here in Florida, at least a difficult one I could get. So these shots, once again, like I discussed in the other one, this grass is going to be trying to push the ball, or should I push my club more up in the air? So you'll see a lot of people thin them out of these or just flat out chunk it. So what I'm going to be trying to do is pick the club up just a little bit with my backswing and finish low and left. Whenever I hit these shots, I always feel like I'm trying to leave the club almost in the rough with a bit of club head speed. I play them almost like a little mini bunker shot. Makes it much easier to get the club out, keep the club open, not really lose the shot. So I'll tend to just open it up for you here, pick it up, and swing low and left. So whenever I do that, I tend to get a ball that comes out decent height. Doesn't normally have too bad of an issue trying to stop. It actually comes out pretty good typically. I know ones out of like what they'll get at Winged Foot will be a bit more difficult, longer rough, more difficult rough, thicker rough. But at least this is a good example of how you would play it at your home club. So anyways, this is going to be a big difference maker for everyone playing in the U.S. Open this week. It's going to be the rough. How well you play it off the tee and how well you play it around the greens. I know the ones around the greens are going to be where a lot of the guys are trying to get their scoring done, especially on a long, difficult golf course. So hopefully this helps everybody out. If you have any questions, just shoot me in the comments, and I can hopefully help you out.